What's up, guys? I was able to make it for this AMA, so this should be interesting. Very, very interesting. So I definitely want to hear what they have to say. Let me just get my chat pulled up and we should be ready to go. Be just a second, guys. I'm trying to pull up the chat just to see if anybody's saying anything. Yo, what's going on, chat? How does my volume sound? I know last time we had a little issue here with the sound. So what's going on, Mark? Yeah, me too. That's the whole reason why I'm I'm in here. I want to hear, how is it going to benefit Surge? Um, at the end of the day, this is just another cryptocurrency, so I don't really know much about them. So looks like we may have like 1 minute before it starts. I appreciate that, L. You're gonna have to help me with the pronunciation. Like I am very, very, as you guys could probably already tell, I am very, very country. Like so throughout it, this AMA, I'm probably not gonna say anything unless if you guys have any, questions that you want me to ask them. If so, definitely just write it down, um, and I'll try to get those questions answered. El Eco Loco, that's it, right?
Hey, are you able to hear me? I see you talking, but I don't hear you. Might be my phone.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just mute myself. Then looks like it's about to get started. Not a problem, Mark. I know they just said something. Where you guys were able to hear them okay, or
Eric, I'm still not hearing you. Mike, you want to say something?
All right, thank you for Chad for the feedback. Definitely appreciate you all for coming in tonight or day, wherever you at.
Okay, but I think we're just waiting on one more speaker. I'm also not sure if I'm able to hear the speakers up here, so I might have to switch to my computer. But we'll get started here in just a minute.
Yeah, I have Surge BNB as well too. Now, hopefully, Surge BNB could get a partnership, something similar to that. I think they're having technical
Eric, Mike, you
issues.
there? You guys are about ready to get started?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay. Great.
I know you guys had mentioned Jen was going to join us. Is that still the case?
Yeah, that was the plan to start. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if she got caught up, but we can.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know our community was excited to hear about your launch and everything that you guys got going. So instead of me trying to talk about what you're doing, I'd love to just open it up so that everybody can hear about what you're working on.
Yeah, great. So just Jen is saying she's in the audience and she's requesting. I think if you want to try to find that before we start.
There was an invite sent to her. It looks like it's just pending her acceptance. I will remove that. We can try again.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about the delay here, guys. She says she's in the audience with her hand up. So.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, first time I came up, it wouldn't even talk. That was interesting. Yeah, so Jen's in the audience. It says that. Oh, you already said that. Yeah.
Jen, if you just want to raise your hand again, I can bring you up. Gotcha. So you should just accept the invite and it should pull you up. I mean, I accept the acceptance and it should bring you up.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've sent her an invite to speak as well, as accepted her request to speak the same way I did with each of you. So I'm not sure what's happening here.
Okay. Well, she said.
Oh, there we go. There we go. We're good.
Hey, there she is.
All right, fresh start. Thanks everyone for putting up with this the technical problems. We're excited to get started here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We are just absolutely thrilled to be in a partnership with Surge, and we think we have the perfect product and the perfect line of products coming out with our company to very greatly benefit Surge and all that you guys are doing and all the special things that you are creating. So we're happy to be here and happy to be in this position. We're just going to quick start out by introducing ourselves. My name is Mike. I'm one of the core dev team members of Safe Vault and our future Vault products. How we kind of got into crypto is obviously through SafeMoon. Especially kind of during the big time bull rush in April is when I purchased and got in, and I just like a lot of people, I was scouring the Reddit boards and stuff and trying to figure out what the heck was going on and what this was. And I realized that there was just tons of quality information on these Reddit posts. And being a big podcast lover myself, I started a podcast, and that's kind of how we got into crypto, and that's how I met Eric as well through that. And then we started getting into pre-sales and stuff, and that's kind of how we got the idea to create Safe Vault. So that's kind of just my quick background in crypto here, and I am an elementary teacher as well, and I'm excited to provide education to not only the Vault audience but also the Surge audience and the crossover there, and educating people on how both of these products work.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool, guys. So my name is Eric. I started crypto again a long time ago. But as far as getting into SafeMoon, it brought me into the realm of new tokens, and I ran a research Discord to really understand what it takes to be super successful in new tokens in the BSC chain space. So we got into that, and then we came into a brilliant idea of let's make Safe Vault and help change the world, which is really cool. Help out everything. And then I have a broadcasting background. I have a following of 63,000 people on Bigo Live, and just really excited here to be here with everybody.
Great, awesome. Yeah. So, Jen, did you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, sorry there, sir. So I'm Jen, and I work as a blockchain researcher here in Canada. I specifically specialize in integrations, particularly right now with small and medium-sized enterprises that are looking to either get on private or public blockchains. But personally, I am a girl of decentralization. I can only express to you how excited I am with the partnership with Surge. As you all know, that Mark is creating kind of an unprecedented, beautiful addition to. And as someone who's now representing and working with the Safe Vault team, I can only express to you how complex what we're doing is, but furthermore, how beneficial it is to utilize these two financial products together when you're talking about building out a digital asset portfolio. So I'm really happy to be here today and to share all of this and to be a part of the Surge team. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself, but lots to learn about everybody here.
Awesome. Well, before we dive into too many specifics here, just for everybody here should know me, but if you don't, Surge Capitalist, pretty active in our Discord here. I'm the newest member of the leadership team here at Surge. Really excited about this relationship, specifically as it pertains to just continuing to grow the Surge ecosystem. So really excited to learn more about, or for you to share more about what you've built and how it applies to our ecosystem, and just the continued adoption of the innovation that Mark and David are creating over here at Surge. So
yeah, thanks. So
more.
I guess we'll kind of start on how we started Safe Vault and how that idea came about, and then also kind of how that transitioned into kind of our Vault DeFi line of products to come out, and then how that relates to Surge. So like I said prior, Eric and I were big into like the pre-sale game and researching new tokens and listening to different communities and listening to different developers. And we did that for hundreds to thousands of tokens, and through all that, um, we kind of found out that there was two main trends that were happening in kind of these new tokens in the BSC network. And the first one started with Tiki token. If I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. And what Tiki token did is, instead of giving reflections in Tiki token, like the popular tokens do now with tokenomics, they gave rewards in BNB. So we found that there was a huge acceptance and appreciation of that by the community, the Tiki token community, that they liked seeing their BNB count rise just by holding a different token. So that was kind of where rewarding different tokens was born, and we were really really enthused about that, as well as everyone else. And then so a lot of the new tokens also came out with BNB rewards, and then natural evolution happened and into Doge rewards and Bitcoin rewards. And so Eric and I were talking, and we were just like, well, why is no token rewarding SafeMoon right now? SafeMoon has so many holders. This would be a pretty easy community to get into and easy to market it and things like that. So that's kind of where the was born. The other big trend that we noticed was that these new tokens were having higher sales fees on their tokens, and community members love that. 95% of people investing in crypto are looking for long-term investments, right? They're not looking to get in the pump and dump game. It's just, we take it from people who try to get in the pre-sale stuff and just do that daily. It's just an exhaustive amount of work, and rarely do you ever hit. So interested in something they can sink their teeth into and just let it kind of marinate. So we kind of encourage, obviously, holding, and then through those higher sales fees, you can give back greater rewards for doing so. So that's kind of two main aspects of Safe Vault there. So yeah, we started Safe Vault, had a lot of success here, and had a small team. It was myself and my brother Chris on the core dev team. Jen, I think we reached out to Jen, or we hooked up through a mutual friend, and immediately were blown away by Jen and absolutely begged her essentially to join the team, even though she really wanted to as well. So I might have embellished that there, but
I wanted to be here, Mike.
Brought Jen on. I know. We really wanted to have Jen on the team, and we're so glad that she was over the moon to join the team. And so we launched and had a lot of great success with Safe Vault, and as you've seen recently, it's been going really well. And we reached out to Sean Witcherell, and we thought that myself and Eric not really having any business experience. Obviously, Jen does have a lot of more experience, but then Sean being really experienced in the finance and business arenas as well. We reached out to him, and once we kind of explained what we were doing, he jumped on board as well. So we were really happy to have him on board as well. So just it's kind of evolved then into this new ecosystem that we just started working on, and we just unveiled today. And how that came across was
brilliant idea together. And Surge is absolutely wonderful. Okay, we partnered. We are partnering with Surge, which is great. Now the real benefit to that is that our token gets to help Surge, and Surge in a sense helps our token, which is great, right? So it's a very beneficial relationship. Now, as far as what we are building goes, we're building an ecosystem that again greatly benefits Surge. We are designing a token called ETH Vault, ETH Vault. And what that's going to do is it's going to reward 20% in Ethereum Surge. That is wonderful, right? So all that volume, we're trying to even we're trying to basically market and convince and kind of inspire the Ethereum market to come into not only Ethereum Surge but also us, so we can reward to Ethereum Surge, right? That's going to really increase the transaction volume, which really benefits Ethereum Surge. 2% of those of ETH Vault additionally will go back to our original token, Safe Vault, just so everybody knows. Now, 20% again will go back to ETH Surge. That again really increases transaction volume. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make more tokens. We're going to have at least ETH vault come out. We're looking at a BTC vault. And again, any kind of token, they're all going to reward in wrapped Surge tokens. This is really, really, really important. So we're going to be helping kind of the Surge ecosystem with our ecosystem. It's going to be a beneficial ecosystem, which is really cool. So it's really important to partner with these brilliant, brilliant, brilliant minds. Now, imagine, again, we have 2% rewards on all those tokens. They are going to be all going into Vault as well. But as far as right now, and we can have more announcements and more fun things planned. We don't have a launch date as of yet for ETH Vault. Again, we're looking at it coming out by the end of August. So just again, be aware of that.
Yeah.
But the ecosystem. Yep. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really quickly. Just to be clear here, any kind of forward-looking statements, like these things are forward-looking. Everything around any types of gains are all purely speculative. Like based on, you can look at historics on other charts, but recognize that we are not giving out financial advice, and that these are not financial securities, and any investments that you make are doing so at your own risk. So I apologize for having to make that disclaimer, but let's just be clear about that.
Well said, capitalist.
Yeah, 100%. Someone's got to say that, right? Appreciate that. But yeah, so like Eric was saying, so this is a very symbiotic relationship, meaning both parties benefit. So by having our rewards on our new kind of Vault DeFi tokens, all the ETH Vault, BTC Vault, and what that's going to do is constantly having the Surge wrap tokens purchased. So we are constantly pumping in buys for Surge tokens. So that's going to be great for the Surge ecosystem and for people that are holding Surge tokens to continue to get more holders and bring the price up, et cetera, et cetera. So then how that benefits us then is, rather than, so just for example, our token, rather than just rewarding Ethereum, that's great. And the price would go up and down with Ethereum. But if we having the ability to layer Surge on top of that, or wrap it in Surge, it's just a beneficial aspect for our rewards as well, right? Because again, if Ethereum goes up, Surge just stacks on top of that, right? If Ethereum goes down, Surge kind of hedges that. So we brought this idea. This was actually our idea brought to Mark, and once we did that, he was like a kid in a candy shop. He was so enthused and excited for days on end every time we talked to him after that, to have this relationship, because we both realized the benefits that each side of this partnership would be receiving. So yeah, we're definitely happy to partner with Surge, and looking forward to rolling out our Vault line of Vault tokens.
Well said, Mike. Yep, love it.
Awesome. Anything else that you wanted to cover specifically before I ask a few questions, and then we'll open it up to more of an AMA style discussion?
No, feel free.
Nope.
Go right ahead. Yeah, go right ahead and ask.
Awesome. So specifically, some of the questions, and you've touched on it quite a bit, just to reinforce, like, what do you see as being the primary benefit to our community? And I'd love to hear your perspective, and I will certainly give mine.
Yeah, sure. So our perspective is the fact of volume, right? So as we are reaching out to help kind of market, Surge in a sense, and really capture the market of Ethereum, we're going to bring in all that volume to add additional volume to Ethereum Surge. And so what Ethereum Surge is really, really, really what's important to know about Surge is that each transaction also raises the price, right? There's, I believe, capitalists, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a 2% fee on all transactions. So transactions really raise the price. So if you have a token that's reflecting in that Surge, you're going to have constant buys and transactions, which is going to, again, really, really create that volume and raise the price. So I think that's our
Yeah,
answer. Yep.
it's 6% on buys, 6% on sells, and 2% on transfers for Surge.
There you go.
Just yep. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing is we're just constantly having our contracts purchase Surge to then reward to our token holders. So that's just a steady stream of new buyers and new holders of all Surge tokens. Or well, I shouldn't say all, but all the big ones as we expand.
Awesome.
I was
Yeah. So go ahead,
so
Jen.
sorry to jump in there, Catalyst. I was just going to add that, if you're a Surge investor at this point and you understand how the Surge token works and how it's actually hedging your original assets, then when you're looking to make a little bit more value to the original asset, ideally you'd be looking for a product that does compounding. What the Vault token will do for any investor who's wondering, it will compound your original asset. It's going to do it in the allotments that the guys here were just sharing with you. But the truth is that this product will allot you the ability to not only secure your original investment, which you're going to do with Surge, and then the potential of the bridges that Mark's making and the ability to do arbitrage. But this is going to allot you the ability to make the constant and continuous compounding interest on top of it, or dividends or reflections, whatever you choose to call them at this point. It's really a unique way to look at your portfolio, because for a lot of people, you're looking at either doing scalping or individual trading on the top of the profit, utilizing Surge as it is. This will allot you the ability to not necessarily have to do that and have the product held and awaiting. So as you're awaiting to be able to utilize a bridge or move to this spot, or as Mark's continuing the build out of his ecosystem, I would add that adding an additional Vault token to your current investment will not only assist you in the appreciation of the original asset, but it will allot you the ability to gain a bigger value of it. You'll have a bigger amount of token allotment. Furthermore, the token will go up in price. And as Mark completes and his team of Surge aficionados complete this amazing ecosystem, you'll benefit from the compounding factor that the Vault token provides.
Awesome. Actually, it was great because you actually answered what was going to be my next question, which is please pitch why the Surge community should consider researching and potentially buying your token. So that was super helpful. I guess to kind of give my perspective on this relationship and why I think it's important is this is a unique adoption of the XSurge and Surge tokens with respect to continuing to expand into other communities. The Vault team is already building a really strong community with their own right, and continuing to identify opportunities like this is kind of an important part of our charter and how we want to be able to continue to expand within the DeFi space. And this is the type of innovation that we like to see. This is one example of a token that has a certain advantages and a certain risk profile that really lends itself to certain types of investors. And I think that as we think about our ecosystem, we plan on having multiple different types of assets and tokens that can all benefit. That's the first thing. The second thing that I think is really interesting here is the fact that is how this ultimately ends up benefiting our Surge holders. So the question that came up quite a bit today was did I make a mistake buying BNB because the announcement is around Ethereum and Surge Ethereum, and how does this all work together? Well, I mean, the reality is that the Surge ecosystem is designed to be able to support itself, to support other tokens, and as this team mentioned, there's an opportunity to expand across other tokens, but fundamentally the Surge BNB, as more transactions for Seth happens, we're going to have more demand for wrap BNB, and wrap BNB, for example, that demand increase is going to, would likely, I'm not going to say, but would likely have an increase on price, because obviously as demand goes up for something and supply stays stagnant, the price is likely to go up. And so as we start to think about that, then that could ultimately have an impact on the BNB price. And right, there's just a symbiotic relationship, both within our ecosystem and as we think about partnering with other tokens, like what the Vault team has built. So really excited about that. Again, as I say things, I'm not going to be as we think about shifting to a more of an AMA style discussion, just be clear, like I will not speculate on what I think the price of any token will be, nor will the team up here speculate on what they think the value or potential ROI of making investments in the vault token will be. But I am excited here in a minute to be able to invite people up to ask questions. The last thing I'll mention is just that, there has been some questions within the community around, the clip at which we're bringing in new tokens into our ecosystem. And, the real benefit of this is, ultimately, if we continue to bring in tokens, it would spread our community thin. But with the combination of the bridges that are being created, the ability to traverse across different tokens is really going to be a powerful, risk mitigation factor in terms of hedging your bets, but also presents itself with a number of opportunities for arbitrage as well. And then lastly, just really excited about just being able to support more projects. Marcus teased the Surge Launch Program, which is really going to allow more people and more innovation to happen within the DeFi space. And I think that it's teams like Vault that see opportunities and create models for growth and potential prosperity for token holders is exactly the type of innovation that we like to see. For full disclosure, Mark did help the team both in writing their original contract and in writing the future contract. So, Mark has definitely had his hands in making sure that the underlying technology and contracts are solid on top of the team that's representing themselves here tonight. I would also add that that the Vault team is their own team, and as such, we are excited about the partnership. But like any other DeFi in the space, do your research, make sure that you believe in the economic model, make sure it makes sense for you and your portfolio. And I know certainly for me, I was inspired by the team up here today, and I'm curious to hear what everybody has to say. Did you all have anything else you wanted to add before we start inviting people up for questions?
Can add, Catalyst, like you couldn't have said it really any better. The opportunity that Surge, and the ecosystem that your team and everyone around you is building is not only it's not only innovative, it's absolutely necessary in the DeFi space to be able to come at it in a decentralized fashion. We are excited about the opportunity to be able to stand next to your company, furthermore, your dev team, but most of all with your investors, because we think we have a very unique product that's allotting like all of our investors are doing really well with it. But now that we're able to expand it to specific tokens like this, I just think that with the education and the level of understanding that the Surge investors are coming with, they're going to see probably quite quickly what a progressive compounding factor can be in regards to having your original asset protected. So we're just really happy to be a part of it. I couldn't ask for a better group and team to have been working with. I know the guys here and myself are just, I wish I had better words to say, but just overtly inspired with the innovation and really, really happy to continue building out in this team fashion that we've been working at. So thank you for having us.
Certainly my pleasure. I'm sure the community feels the same way. Any last comments before we start bringing people up?
Oh, sir.
Awesome. Okay, so just a reminder, we're not going to speculate on the price of Surge, any of the Surge tokens, Vault, or any of the Vault tokens. So please don't ask us any questions related to that. Otherwise, it's fair game. All right, let's go in order here. So we take crypto. You're up first.
Yeah, how's everybody doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
How's it going, buddy?
Good. Give me a second. Can't hear it.
We can hear you. We'll give you 10 more seconds. Otherwise, you can raise your hand again. I'll bring you back up.
Hello, is there a separate token called ETH Vault?
Yeah, so not right now that we have 0 other tokens out right now besides SafeVault. So let's make that perfectly clear. Scammers are abundant. We have only SafeVault out right now. So do not purchase anything outside of SafeMalt if you're interested in any Vault tokens. But yes, our next token that we will be releasing is called ETH Vault, and we're also going to be releasing BTC Vault, Bitcoin Vault, and many others beyond that. But right now, the first two there are planned for release by the end of August, and that's where we're at right now.
Is there going to be an easier way for us to be seeing our holdings information?
Yes, and that is part of the. We initially we're going to kind of plan to launch ETH Vault a lot sooner here, but we are waiting for our DApp to be finished here, and then so we can have that for our community to see their holdings, see the rewards, and track all that good information. So we're waiting for that to be online for us first before we actually launch ETH Vault.
All right. That's it for now.
Awesome. Thank you for the questions.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
All right. Up next, I'm not even going to try to say the name, so I'm going to invite you up to speak. Q Raichefan. Probably like some obvious word. I'm just missing it. No? You're not going to accept? Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello, Q.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
We can hear you. Yep.
Hello, can you hear me?
All right. Unfortunately, we're going to have to move you off. We can hear you, but you apparently can't hear
I
us.
can't hear you guys.
All right. Sorry about that, Q. If you get it working, you're welcome. You're welcome back up. Just raise your hand. I'll put you back on the top of the list. All right, Ronan. Welcome to the stage, Ronan. What's your question?
Hey, so I was just wanting to ask a security question. So hypothetically speaking, in the event that one of the coins is compromised, would that compromise the other coin?
When you say compromised, are you speculating that one of the paired coins would be about? Sorry, maybe just elaborate better on what you're saying there.
I'm sorry. So hypothetically speaking, say one of the contracts gets attacked. Would that inhibit your product from doing what it needs to do?
I'm not too sure how a contract would get attacked, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think your question is too speculative, right? Like you're saying, like, I mean, if a contract went down, then whatever security risk that you're like that made that happen would be much more widespread than this single token.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, we're a risk. I mean, there is always underlying risk on absolutely any system, right? In this case, like the Surge ecosystem is dependent on Binance, and Binance is somewhat decentralized and distributed across multiple servers with multiple areas of redundancy to be able to mitigate loss, right? Like, the most common area where something along the lines of what you're mentioning happens is actually theft via wallet, right? So somebody gains malicious access to your wallet and therefore is able to transfer tokens out, but like those types of risks have nothing to do with the underlying contracts. So the other areas of risk are nefarious actors who are creating bad contracts, but in this case all of the contracts that are making up this ecosystem are all proven proven tokens with known developers that have proven themselves to not be nefarious, right? Like
Gotcha.
you've got SafeMoon, you've got Vault, and you've got Surge. If you question the integrity of the underlying contracts, of which Mark wrote them all, then that would be that would be one thing. But yeah, I think it'd be too much just kind of speculate on general. I think there was FUD early on, like the army coming in and taking down all the servers.
Sure, yeah.
That's right. Did you have a follow-up question or something more specific we can answer?
No, I was just concerned about the security risk.
Yeah. The security risk is no more risky than anything else. I mean, the biggest risk, like I said, is just like any type of token that is gonna integrate with any kind of more nefarious contract, right? Where like there is an asset that is pegged to being or is more likely to for example, have a rug pull happen and therefore deflate the price or value of that underlying asset. In this case, these are pretty strong tokens.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering my question.
Yep.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Ronan. Yeah.
Just going to add as well.
Go ahead.
That we are now in process of a SEC audit, so I don't necessarily I have that is looks.
It seemed like Jen was cutting out there. What she was trying to say is that we're in the process of a CertTech audit, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it just comes down to ultimately anything that you invest in, it's worth doing your research and due diligence in terms of the level of security and the level of risk you want to make, and making determinations on your own. But it sounds like in this case, many precautions and using best of breed, DeFi tokens is definitely, you should feel relatively comfortable in the in your investment. Okay, Random Marks, looks like you're up next.
Couldn't get it to work, guys.
They're gone. Okay. C. Kelly, you're up next.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Kelly, we can hear you. Y'all are not representing us well if y'all can come up here and not have your headsets or your audio working. I believe in you. All right, Kelly, raise your hand and I'll invite you back up if you can get it working.
Hello.
Kelly, we can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My question's kind of a broad. I guess it's kind of a broad question. When you look at it, investing in crypto and everything, compared to any other stock, you got day traders, you've got long-term investors, and everything like that. I guess my one question is, what is the when you look at a website or something like the SafeVault website, you look for a goal. Is the goal of SafeVault to increase SafeVault price, increase to SafeMoon or Ethereum or any of those things? If you were going to pin it down to one thing, what would be that goal? And I guess the reason I ask this is because it's kind of one of those fearful things where now we create so many bridges, so many different coins, to where how does it actually affect the price and value of SafeVault with all these separate things?
Yeah, great question. So I guess I wouldn't pin it down to one thing. I'd pin it down to two things. So our main overlying reason for doing all of this is to give just the 99%ers of the world access to different investment options that they would previously never have access to. Usually high quality rewarding investments are traditionally in the USA anyways are reserved for kind of the bigwig heavy hitters with a lot of money, right? So that's our goal, is to level the playing field a little bit for the rest of the 99% of us. And then as far as the SafeVault token, the reason why we are creating an ecosystem, so we're trying to expand into different corners of the crypto community, right? Because SafeVault right now is tied pretty heavily to SafeMoon. And so we are trying to expand and kind of diversify as well. So we're trying to attract the Bitcoin, Ethereum crowds, the ADA crowds, et cetera, to kind of bring them into our ecosystem. And then once that happens, then every transaction, literally every single buy, sell, or transfer on all of our new Vault tokens contribute to, they reward in SafeVault, which then makes the contracts of all those tokens purchase SafeVault constantly, which adds to the SafeVault volume, burn, and the rewards that it gives in Safe Moon. So that's kind of our main reasons in a nutshell there. If that
Okay,
makes sense.
so even with all these other coins developed and everything, it is all essentially going to come back to Safe Vault and say, hey, here you go, you're the mothership.
Yeah,
here it is.
Yep, that is our mother token of our ecosystem. Again, think BNB, for the Binance ecosystem. Think Ethereum for the Ethereum network, and then think Safe Moon for the Safe ecosystem that they're. Yep.
Yeah,
everything
good.
is designed to benefit Safe Vault.
All right, great. Well, hey, thanks for the answer. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, I think you pretty much answered the question that I know that community members had pinged me before, which was specifically and just to be explicit about the question, so that was asked directly. So, how does how does ETH Vault help Safe Vault, and what if any incentives are there to buy regular Safe Vault with the upcoming release of ETH Vault? That's a direct question from somebody. I know you pretty much answered that, but if you wanted to expand any more to be a little bit more explicit, that would be helpful.
Yeah. So again, our whole point is to build an ecosystem that reaches out to different realms of crypto, because again, we're kind of, a lot of us are especially on the BSC network, we're kind of in this bubble where a lot of us just aren't used to Ethereum and Bitcoin and those types of tokens. So again, holding Vault is the most beneficial aspect of the entire ecosystem. So again, 2% of every single transaction on every token that we build requires a purchase for Vault. So it increases the price and all the other stuff that I just said. So the token that will benefit the most out of expanding the ecosystem, again, the more tokens we come out with, the more volume that brings in. And we all know how important volume is to tokenomic coins. Then the more benefits you will see from holding Safe Vault.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to continue up to the top of the hour with AMA. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more questions. So ask that nobody else raise their hand. We'll just get through these last 10 questions. That should put us right about there. Fud Protector, it looks like you're up next. All right, Fud, welcome to the stage. Fud, you there? I like your icon. I like your name. All right, moving you back to the audience. Raise your hand so you can come back up. All right, Woody, you're up next.
Hey guys.
1 second, Fud, I see you came back. I'll bring you up right after Woody's done, okay?
Hey, Woody.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, so I started everything, with Safe Moon originally, and anything that Mark does, I feel like I want to be a part of because he is a genius, and I'd like to follow the path of a fellow, dev or worker with Safe Moon, and I trust him from, everything that he's put out so far with his videos and everything else. When it, I'm just a little curious because everything happens so fast, and I've been working a lot of hours. Everything with Surge is moving so fast in different areas. Arbitrage and Vault and I understand the differences between the BNB, Surge BNB and Surge ETH and this and that. I originally got Surge BNB, and I'd like to change that to Surge ETH. Once it's available, like bridge-wise and everything else. But again, maybe it has to do with a little bit of me not having enough time to understand everything because it's coming out so quickly. With arbitrage and with Vault and everything else. Are you guys planning on in the near future maybe putting out some more information on how us investors may be able to change from one thing to the next or understand a little bit more of what's going on? Again, and also I live in New York, so it's a little more difficult for me because of regulations and stuff. But maybe some videos or something like that may come out to make it a little easier for the regular investor to understand how everything is going so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I,
Open. Go ahead.
I think I'll go ahead and answer this question. Also, at the top of the hour, we'll let the vault team go. I'll stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll reopen up the questions again if people want to ask me any questions about our roadmap or anything like that. Just as I know there are a lot of questions. Woody, to answer your question, to make a long story short here, so we can really get back to focusing on the vault team. We have a new website that is complete. Actually have it up on my screen, and is fully working. That will be launching next week. We have a DApp that allows for the buying and selling of our solution right within a simplified experience interface that won't require you to work directly, in your wallet right now. So there will be less error prone. I completed the white paper today, and it is in art right now that will walk through our entire ecosystem as well as diagram out how everything works together and how one thing benefits the other. We also have a charting DApp that will be completed by the end of next Sunday. Again, all these completion dates are for internal testing. As far as announcements, I'll announce early next week, specifically on when these things will be made publicly available. But the point is that this whole Surge project started as an experiment by Mark, and it took off, and it's all happening faster than anybody expected. We built a strong marketing and development team to be able to catch up, and so we are working diligently to be able to make sure that that every single one of you in the community has access to all the information you need to be able to make decisions. And then the last thing I'll say is that our bridges, which is what allows you to do exactly what you asked, which is swapping between tokens or exchanging tokens at less of a penalty, is in a beta test right now. There are a number of members of the community that are actively using that functionality, and that will be released here within the next couple of days. So, yeah, like I said, I'll stay around the last few minutes after this if anybody else has any other questions about our roadmap.
Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Okay, awesome. Let's see. We have Waffle Jaw.
What's going on, family?
Hey.
Hey, I think there was a little bit of confusion. I just wanted to ask this question, I guess, to kind of clear it with everyone. Now, when we buy ETH Vault, will we receive reflections of Surge ETH into our wallets?
The answer to that is a big yes, my friend.
Thank you. That's all I needed, buddy.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
what makes it amazing, right? Like you're able to get, both your traditional reflections plus your on-chain reflections with Surge. I mean, talk about, I wouldn't quite call it an ETF, but definitely diversifying and mitigating risk by spreading it across multiple assets. I mean, it's definitely an interesting play.
I love it. I appreciate you guys. Much love.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Waffle Jaw.
All right, Q, we're gonna give you another shot.
Again, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. You guys mute out a little bit. I'll have to listen carefully. Anyway, will Mark make his contracts for buying? I don't like using Pancake Swap and all of that. I like his contract to direct buy for Vault.
Yeah, so making more swap contracts for Safe Vault, for ETH Vault, and so on and so forth. I think it's definitely a possibility. I couldn't see why not. So that's something that we can talk to him as it develops. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that. The stupid iPhone DApps, pancake swap mess that we've got going on right now. It just makes it a lot easier for iOS users to do. That's all I got. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, sir. Oh, I forgot to bring, hold on, give me 1 second. I forgot to bring back up FUD. But I lied to you. I even told everybody I don't lie, and there I let you down.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna get to Mike and Jen. So Mike, you said that in the future you're planning to use different token from Surge. I want to confirm that. If your long-term goal is use our Surge token to benefit your project in the long term, that's one question. The other question is about what it says, Jen. About I was personally I was looking something that it gave me some kind of rewards. So when I cash out, let's say every week, every 2 weeks, every month, I don't have to touch my investment search, which I'm not gonna touch at all. So I want to just confirm if getting reflection from ETH Vault, I will get that passive income probably that I'm looking for. And the first question about long term with Surge, what you guys plan, because what I see is Surge is a really important key point in your project right now. Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I quite understood the question part about Surge, but yeah, we definitely are pairing with Surge long term, and it's going to be a symbiotic relationship where we are offering rewards from our continued vault tokens with Surge wrapped tokens, so that not only gives the holders of vault tokens, tokens that they like, coins that they like, popular coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., but then also having them wrapped in Surge gives them the obvious Surge benefits. And then, Surge benefits from having a constant influx of purchases of Surge tokens as we reward those tokens. So I'm not sure if that answers what your question was, but that's kind of how I understood it.
Yep. And Fudd, when it comes to the second question you asked, again, that goes into a territory that is just unpredictable, right? We can't predict what's going to happen with that, as the Surge capitalist kind of disclosed at the beginning. Any kind of prediction on price is just unpredictable. So we would not be able to answer that. I apologize.
Okay, sorry. Let me probably rephrase the question. So what I'm saying,
Sure.
what I'm trying to say is, reflection that I'm gonna get an ETH Vault, right? I'm not 100% sure. Probably you can clarify a little bit. What is the percentage of me selling those reflections, and also all the coins that you guys gonna pair with Surge, is that 2% is gonna go to the main Vault token? That's gonna be my question, actually, please.
Yeah, I got you. So on each token we create, yes, 2% will go back to the original safe vault. Now, 20% right now we're looking at will go towards the Ethereum Surge. So you're going to get Ethereum Surge in reflections from ETH Vault. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. There you go. Did you have another question?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Flood Protector. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, Rancer, I accepted your request to come up. If you want to come up, now's your chance. All right. Here we go.
Hey, how you going, guys?
Hey, welcome to the stage.
Hey, I got a couple of quick questions just about Vault in general. Are you guys a utility token, or do you guys consider yourself a security? Because if you fall into the security category, you've got a lot of loopholes and legalities that you have to abide by, which leads me to my next question. How come you made Vault, like, the buying fee lower than the selling fee? This was my main reason that put me off Vault.
Yeah, sure, I got you, buddy.
Like, it seems like the sellers are getting punished more than the buyers, so you're incentivizing people to buy, and you're punishing them to sell. How come you didn't make them equal, like the same percentage to buy and the same percentage to sell?
Yeah. Yeah. So first off, we are in no way, shape, or form a security or anything associated with the security. Let's be very clear about that. And second of all, the crypto market, especially new tokens in the BSC, is one of the most saturated things in the world, right? It's just there's literally dozens and dozens and dozens of new tokens coming out every day. All of them are the same. So this is our differentiator, and because of that, it goes back to economic kind of econ 101 aspects of making it cheaper and easier, or cheaper to buy and then more expensive to sell. That encourages long-term holding, which is kind of the outcome that we are looking for. And then through those fees, that powers the higher percentage of rewards that we can give to those people that are holding. So it's specifically it's specifically designed for long-term holders.
Yeah,
I get that.
I think just to add, like your question basically fundamentally questions the entire premise of DeFi, right? Like almost all of the new tokens out there are playing. I could say a large percentage of the new tokens that are being released at any given time are playing with kind of economics to figure out like how, what does that mean for value of something long term? None of which are going to call themselves a security, because becoming a security obviously implies like a lot of regulation and SEC, right? Like most of these are just experiments. And so you guys, the ultimate thing I could say, only thing I can say is that, like, as with anything that you're going to put money into, you want to look at the levels of risk and the economics that are comfortable with the risk profile and the behaviors in which you like to, I guess the behaviors in which you feel most comfortable with in terms of your style, like whether that is staking, more of a staking approach, or if you like something that allows for more arbitrage, or something that allows you to just kind of float in and float out of. You got to figure out like what makes sense for you, and what makes sense for you might not make sense for everyone else. And that's about as much as I want to say about it.
So what would you say is the utility of Vault?
I'm not going to speculate on the utility or whether or not anything is or is not a security. I would say that Vault is not a security, as they mentioned, but I will let you make your own opinions.
Let's answer that, Jen. If you wanted to, I know you have a really good response to that. If you're willing to give that, as far as the DeFi compounding interest. I don't know if she's able to talk. Jen, are you with us? Okay, apparently not.
But if I was to speculate on the utility of absolutely anything, that I'm not going to speak for Vault, I'm going to speak for any token that looks or acts in any kind of similar fashion. Utility here is taking multiple utility tokens and allowing a person to be able to acquire those utility tokens in a way that allows them to purchase the best ones and benefit from those best ones more quickly. But that's as vague of an answer as I can give, and I hate to give vague answers, and I apologize. But that's as much as we're going to discuss this topic. But thank you for coming up.
That's all right. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so let me see, who else did I have? I took a screenshot, so I didn't let anybody else up for this part. Ranster, you're up here. Did you want to ask a question? All right, moving you to the audience. Sorry. We're at the top of the hour. Let's see, do I have any? Okay, so Giraffe was on here, and We Take Crypto was on here. I'll invite you both to the stage. Everybody else, if you have questions for me, you'll have to hold off for a second, but we'll let these last two people up.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on here. I just got a quick question. What makes you guys different from the SafeMoon bridges?
What makes who different? Are you talking about Surge?
Yeah, like Surge.
All right, we'll hold off on that question for just a second. Okay?
So to my understanding, like SafeMoon made their announcements that they were going to be creating bridges. They had all these wallpapers. Pardon me?
I'm happy to answer your question, but we're already at the top of the hour. Let's see if Giraffe has a question specifically for the Vault team, and then I'm happy to answer your question. Giraffe, do you have a question for the Vault team?
Hi, good evening. Yeah, kind of. I'm hoping that it's in the right place. It was to do with like everybody's using ecosystem language and talking about, this, that, and the other. And it's such an exciting project, and there's a real potential for exponential growth. But one of the things that sort of catches me thinking about what I'm looking for in investments is to do with this idea of putting money back into small projects in the Gambia, etc. But it's the actual carbon footprint of the processing of all these tokens. If this grows at the rate that it is and continues to do so, what is there any way of tracking or having some kind of idea of how much carbon footprint all of these processing is actually putting back out? Because it's sort of almost like if you're going to support small projects in developing countries and then grow a basically electronically run system, how are you going to offset what hopefully will happen in the future to prevent the projects you're funding becoming the projects that are needed to counteract the problems we're creating?
I mean, I can take a stab at that if you want.
Hello?
I mean, it's not directly related to Vault, but I guess it's probably just DeFi in general. I would say that the carbon footprint in general of these DeFi tokens that are not blockchain mining based are going to have economic benefit to investors, similar to those that are blockchain, without having to have the massive impact on the the environment or the same level of carbon footprint. And so, that already is a massive step in the right direction. I would say that's probably the primary thing that I could comment on with respect to somebody tracking the impact or the carbon footprint of one project or another. I mean, that sounds like an amazing cause, and if somebody can figure out a way of doing that, that would be absolutely phenomenal. At this point, it would really be dependent on looking at a specific server, the amount of usage it has, and taking an estimate. But I would encourage you, if that's something that you're passionate about, to figure out if there's a way to be able to start tracking that. And that sounds like something that just like people get certifications, like for the right investors, that's a top of mind priority or an investment trigger for them, is specifically around like the environmental impact. Like I'd say like that sounds like a noble cause and something that I certainly support. So I'd put that on you. I think we're tackling quite a few different things here with our project. I know Vault is doing the same, but we all care about the environment. We all care about the world we live in. And we want to make sure we're leaving it as net neutral as we can. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate your at least bringing the thought to this audience. I don't think we can answer more.
And I appreciate your discretion with your response. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna let the Vault team go now. I'm gonna answer VTake Crypto's questions. I will then stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes to answer any other questions around the Surge roadmap or Surge ecosystem, if anybody has any other additional questions. Thank you so much to everyone at Vault. Mike, Jen, Eric, thank you again.
Hey, thank you, Surge Capitalists. Super cool. Thank you, Surge community. Absolutely amazing. We really appreciate you all.
Yeah, we look forward to working together with Surge and seeing what other possibilities we can create together.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so remind me, Crypto, what was your question specifically? Crypto, you still there? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, can you remind me your question?
All right, my bad. Yeah, so SafeMoon early on, they made some announcements that they're going to be doing some bridges. Sound pretty cool. They put some images out, kind of inspirational, I guess. Now, what's the difference though between like your bridge system and their bridge system, and how do you guys avoid the complication of saying that we all do respect but not bite that idea or that concept?
Yeah, I mean, I think it ultimately comes down to like which look, I everybody knows, most people know how I feel about certain tokens or not. Like I'm not going to speculate on any other tokens roadmap or or their specific utility. I about the surge bridges. What I can say about what we've built is a very unique approach to bridge. Specifically, the way that our contracts are set up is unlike anything that's been done before, at least to my knowledge. Whereas I would say many other tokens in this world, and I'm not referring to any specific one,
Right.
to kind of copy one another and not necessarily innovate, where there's a lot of copying and pasting going on to try to replicate things that have already done before. One of the things we've seen here with Surge is that, that's not Mark's approach. Mark's approach is how do we create a truly decentralized platform that is really agnostic and allows for multiple people to be able to take advantage of that ecosystem and build on top of it. And that's really where it's that expanding ecosystem, that access for developers that's really going to allow us to differentiate. As well as I think the underlying premise of the way we built Surge tokens in conjunction with the Surge launch platform, which is going to allow for other types of utility and economics to place, is going to really allow access for the community to be able to really create a unique and diversified portfolio. So that's about as specific as I feel comfortable getting. If you have something a little bit more specific around any of the utility of the bridges, I'm happy to answer that question, but I'm not going to speculate on the roadmap of another token.
Okay. So like maybe it's
I apologize. It seems like you're cutting out. I'm getting a lot of feedback for your microphone. Look, I would say if you want to DM me, I'm happy to continue this conversation with you, and I might even be able to be a little bit more specific. I'm not going to move to stage. Unfortunately, I'm just getting static from you. All right. If anybody else wants to raise your hands, you're welcome to raise your hands. I got C. Kelly. I'm going to invite up. You got about 7 more minutes of my time if you have any questions about Surge, our ecosystem, our roadmap, our marketing efforts, etc. All right, C. Kelly. You are muted. I can hear you. Yep. Yeah. So this is obviously not financial advice. Yeah. Look, I think that there are going to be lots of tokens that are going to come onto the Surge ecosystem over time, and all of them are going to have varying risk profiles. And I'll get specific about Vault in a second, but recognizing the varying levels of risks and the various levels of diversity, which is an interesting topic with respect to the way we think about Surge tokens in the future, which is maybe a leak or not, really allows for you to think about the profiles that make the most sense for you as an individual. Now, thinking about Vault, the thing, as I mentioned during the call, that makes it interesting, at least from my perspective as I think about it, is really this idea of hedging and risk mitigation by spreading across multiple tokens. Now, the question becomes, like, do you believe in Surge? Do you believe in SafeMoon? And do you believe in the economic and tax structure of the Vault? Now, in looking at it just fundamentally, you'd say, okay, like, am I naturally more interested in staking and likely to hold? If so, do tokens like Vault that reward holding behavior, does that fit my profile? And now when you go and you take those taxes to an extreme, as I do my due diligence and start to think about what does that mean for possible return scenarios, which I can't speculate on, that's where it starts to become interesting. Is it's like, okay, like my profile is holding. There's large taxes, which means large taxes means that, you know, at equal volume to a similar token could potentially mean larger reflections, or in this case, larger reflections and larger redeemable value in the surge, with respect to the surge token, right? So now you have a combination of a profile that makes sense for you as an investor. You have diversified returns, potential returns. You have a risk, like you have, you are supporting projects that you believe in. So that's the way that I would approach evaluating any new token ecosystem. Um, I would also add that, like, you know, while I very much, you know, the vault token, you know, I know they continuously use the word partnership. This is a collaboration, right? Like they are their own team. And so, while we appreciate the innovation that is happening with respect to their team and what they are building, and the fact that they are leveraging our system, and fundamentally, I do personally believe that that will benefit Surge holders. It is important to recognize that they are their own team with their own tax structures, with their own liquidity pools, with their own et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I would challenge everybody in this room to make sure that you do your own due diligence and research before considering anything.
I don't know if they're not speaking.
Uh, yeah, no, absolutely. I think long term that, you know, we certainly are thinking about how to make it easier for people to create diversified um, purchases of tokens within the ecosystem, more easily. And look, at the end of the day, like we started as a token, but you know where Surge is going is really, you know, people use the term ecosystem, but we really are building a platform for being able to trade in a way that is, you know, allows for, like I said, more. Yeah, and so that's why, like, we're doing these types of collaborations with other tokens and communities, so that we can, you know, really start to get more people familiar with the Surge ecosystem, which is obviously, has the potential to improve our volume. And I think just the very nature in which we built our tokens is going to lend itself to multiple cycles of rapid growth, followed by steady decline, followed by rapid growth, followed by steady decline, right? Like, we don't know exactly how that's going to play out long term, but like, it's just that there's, you know, we will always be incrementally increasing your redeemable value with respect to a Surge token with its underlying asset. But the growth rate will have ebbs and flows, and it's going to be really interesting to see how those play out now, and also how they play out at scale once we have delivered on the broader ecosystem and utility, across multiple tokens. But that's as much time as I have for you right now, C. Kelly. But I really do appreciate the thoughtful questions, and you know, definitely feel free to DM me if you have more. Cheers. All right, I'm going to answer these last three. So let's try to keep it quick and only limit it to one question, please. Mittens, kittens.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Well, I had a two-part question, but if we're keeping it to one, um, I guess I'm just gonna say it in two parts, and you can feel free to answer it as fast as you can, because I have
Sure.
it planned out ahead of time. Um, so my first question is, I'm fairly new to cryptocurrency in general. Um, Roadmap going forward, question about like being able to see the price in a more. I know you guys have it in the Discord. You can see it where it's at every day, but is there going to be a way that we're going to be able to see it on a more live basis? And then second question regarding like I don't know if you've seen the news about like with the infrastructure bill and um, regulation of cryptocurrency. My question to you is: are there any concerns on for something like a surge token, where you're going to have legislators look at this and not quite understand what they're looking at? They're going to be, how the price is set up with this. They can understand something like Bitcoin, where it's, okay, it's a coin that has value, but a surge token they're going to look at and see like how is the price set up in regard to how it's wrapped with like BNB or Ethereum. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my question to you.
Yeah. So to your first question specifically, yeah, we have a DApp that is built that is going to allow for quickly understanding the value at any given time with a simple interface. In conjunction with that, we have a secondary DApp that is being built that should be in a beta ready state by next Sunday that allows for multiple charts against each of the tokens. The live price tracking might not be in the first iteration of that release. However, there will ultimately be a live tracking function. I would say that in addition to what Surge is doing, the useless team is also working on multiple types of charting and charting functionality for being able to track that. Now, with respect to any type of legislation, I would not be the most appropriate person to ask that question to. I think that is a really interesting topic. I think David, aka Kark or Surge Organizer, would be the most appropriate person to answer that question. So, like, I don't mean to deflect. Like, I'm simply deflecting because I don't have a strong answer, and I'm not as informed as others on the team are with respect to that bill. So, I would be doing everybody here a disservice by even attempting to answer. But I know that they plan on doing another AMA here quickly, and I'll make sure that topic gets addressed during that.
All right, yeah, thank you. That was just something I was thinking about looking at and slightly.
It's a great point. I know it's on top of everybody's mind. I've been so focused on just trying to get our marketing and operations in order that I haven't had a chance to actually do that research. But I know that David and his legal representation and other things, he's much more familiar with how that what that means for the broader DeFi space. But with respect to I would just the only thing that I would say is that Surge as an ecosystem and as a token is at no more risk than any other DeFi token in the space. We have broad reaching utility as well as a number of other things that make us very interesting. But I would just say that I don't see any additional or inherent risk to Surge compared to any other DeFi.
Right. All right. Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, this is my last question here from Wall Splat. I'm sorry to anybody else. You're welcome to DM me. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. Great to finally talk to you, man.
Yeah.
Quick question. Do you know how the Vault team is going to be purchasing the Surge tokens? Are they going to create one large purchase? Are they going to make them one at a time? Is it going to be through Pancake Swap? Are they going to have to change BNB to BSC and then buy Surge? It's a little confusing to me, and I'm not sure if you completely know, but just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, to be honest, I know the contract is still being written. I mean, I could tell you my preference is that they have to send BNB to our contract so that the underlying price of BNB is going to increase. Ideally, is so, and then obviously the taxes specifically with respect to ETH or Seth would go up as well. Like that, I mean, that's as an investor, that's my ideal scenario. I would imagine that they're I guess I can't speculate. The only person that can answer that question would be Mark because he's working directly with them on the contract. I know I have my preference, but my preference is obviously maximizing the value
Exactly.
of holders,
Yep,
right? So
exactly. I'm with you.
I apologize. I fundamentally don't know and haven't seen the contract, so can't speculate on it.
Yeah, I just thought I'd give it a shot. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate your work.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much to everybody that joined. I hope we were able to answer any questions. As always, feel free to DM me. Really working hard to try to get our marketing operations in order to be able to operate at a level that is, maybe not quite equal to Mark, but is very close. We're making huge strides, like I said earlier on this call, across multiple projects. We have a white paper in design. We have 2 dApps, one for really interesting charting and one for buying and selling. That will connect directly with your wallet so that there is no mishaps. We've got a front-end website with calculator that's going to be launching. We've got the launch ecosystem. We got the Surge launch platform, which will be starting development here in a couple weeks. So we are moving very fast, recognizing, I don't know the exact number of days. I think we're maybe like 10, 12 days in, and we've already put together a really strong team that is really trying to help to turn this vision into a reality. We are all volunteers. We are volunteering our time at this point. Recognize that we do not currently have any marketing or dev wallet. I would ask that anybody that is passionate about this project to please donate. There's a donate channel in our Discord. And thank you all. Have a great evening. And by the way, I will be doing a Twitter Spaces live discussion with Sean tonight from over there at Vault. So anybody that's still interested in learning more about Vault and that ecosystem, that should be happening here in about 37 minutes. All right. Goodbye.
All right, guys. So they packed in a lot. And can you guys hear me, or were you guys able to hear the last couple of things? Their price is getting from Safe Vault. Price is getting hammered because I think a lot of people started buying into Safe Vault due to the anticipation of the news. So obviously it was a sell the news event. So that's one thing that you'll see in the stock market as well as crypto. If a company having upcoming news and they have it marked for, let's say, Safe Moon say, hey, we have this upcoming move announcement is gonna be big. We're gonna announce this at August 28th. So happen to be the launch date. Um, a lot of time, what you'll see a big pump in price. People are buying and anticipating of that. Then as soon as it happened, you get a big sell off because the event happened. It's like then what? Like where do I go from here? So this is exactly what happened to Safe Vault. Um, they had a sell the news event because they're currently down 36%. It's definitely good for the people who are investing in Safe Vault in the long run. If they're holding Safe Vault in the long run, that means they get more Safe Moon. Me, I'm not currently invested into Safe Vault, but one thing that I can say about the AMA, it is interesting that Mark was involved into is going to be involved of writing their contract. So that does give me a little bit more peace of mind as far as whether or not would this be like a rug pull or anything like that. And I doubt that Mark would want to partner up with some company that he doesn't have a footprint in. So definitely. The question that I really wanted to ask them was, and I guess I could probably look it up on their website, was whether or not if it was it just 20% on sales. I think they did mention that it's 20% on for the reflection, is it 20% on sales? And do we get any reflections on buys? What is their website? I guess I could just go back here. All right, where's their website? All right, Vault. I'll just find ETH Vault. Let me go to my history. Nothing. All right, so wherever it was at, can't believe I don't have it no more. But yeah, so I mean, what do you guys think? As far as with the safe vault or ETH vault, I guess that's what it's gonna be, ETH vault. It might be interesting. Oh, there it is, right? Yeah, very interesting. I'm gonna still do more due diligence on it, just to see how, like, how it would, best suit to me. So if I do get in, I may not tell anybody, due to the fact that, this is definitely gonna be at your own risk type of play. And I mean, there's a lot of projects that I'm in that I don't broadcast because I'm good at taking the risk, for myself. So even though I could say like, hey, don't follow me into this, you'll still have some people follow it, still follow me. So if I do get in, I won't mention it. Um, because at the end of the day, I like to empower you guys to make decisions on your own. Because if you could, if I could present the facts to you, I'm pretty sure you could make an intelligent decision on whether or not if you want to invest or not. RS asks, does anyone here think that Mark, the ideas man, is being taken advantage of? Um, I don't know. I wasn't getting those type of vibes because to me, like Mark, from the interactions that I had with him, he seemed like he's one of those. He genuinely want to do it for the DeFi space, and if he have like if he's able to contribute, so I don't know. Let's take a look at Ethereum, and this is what I was saying on the last AMA, like with just immediate price. I mean, it's a slight dip. Um, so you still have support over here. So on the 1 day, if it falls below or close below like 289, then we should see maybe a pullback, the next level of support. Matter of fact, whenever you're doing support and resistance, the best way to do it is based upon a line chart because you would actually get a better read on it. So you have resistance or support right here. It's a new project. It's more like as I forgot his name. He mentioned it's more like a collaboration with us. But it is a new project, not one that we created, but Vault. But I definitely do think it is interesting because it makes sense in my opinion. But for me, and this is not to spread any FUD or anything like that. Um, I'm typically more turned on by pre-sales of tokens, and the reason being is like if okay, so let's say we're gonna do a pre-sale of a token, and it's gonna be worth and the pre-sale value is gonna be $1. Then once we go live, we're gonna open it live for $5. So typically, what's gonna happen? The people who got in the pre-sale, they're gonna sell their token. I mean, they're just 5x their money just by buying, during the pre-sale. So that's why you see a lot of these, pre-sale tokens typically just fall. And that was one of the questions that I wanted to ask them, but my mic for some reason I couldn't get it working. So in the long run, I mean, it would benefit. Like, let's say a whole bunch of people did get in during the pre-sale, and people are up 5x on their money, and they start selling. It definitely is going to benefit the holders, the people who have the diamond hand. But at the same time, if I'm up, you know, 5x, why try to speculate for future return when I'm already up today 5x? So that's just my thought behind it. I would rather them to do, instead of a pre-launch or pre-sale, just let it be open for the public, and that way the coins you're not going to see massive sell-off because typically if someone buy it at the open, they're not typically just going to dump it unless the devs themselves are doing it for start dumping. But guys, no, that is correct too, and that's what. So the question was, my question is how 20%. I will gladly collect 20% from whomever, but who's gonna sell off a 20% loss? Maybe I misunderstand how where the 20% comes from. I'm assuming it's based upon their tax. Let's go here. We can take a look into it. So it's actually right here. See, it says Eatbulb is the first 22% auto reimbursing. All right. So their fees must be probably higher. Let's see. Okay. It's a isn't a 30% sales fee a little high? So it's actually 30%. So so if people sell, it's 30% to sell. And here it is right here. 30% to sell, 5% to buy. So out of that 30, 20 goes to, reflections, rewards of Surge ETH. And 2% goes to Safe Vault. So it's definitely, like I said, it's interesting. it is very, very interesting. So maybe that's how they'll do it then. Um, have it for a low pre-sale, then after that just launch it for a much higher price, and just have everybody just start selling. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with that too. So yeah, no, I definitely get that. Um, I definitely get that. Like it is definitely meant to be for long term, and taking a 30% hit. I mean, that is definitely massive, and I don't think people going into it are looking to just sell off. But and this is why I say, but if you're up 5x, and it may not even be 5x, if you're up 2x on your money, some people are short. They're more like they have like day trading mindset. So if they're up 100%, 200%, a lot of them are looking to cash out, and it's going to be good long term for the people who are holding long term because that's more reflections that they're getting. The only thing that I'm just getting at is just that the pre-sale part. Um, in my opinion, I don't think you know a pre-sale should be necessary, especially because and I guess another reason why I have a bad taste in my mouth because back in 2017, that's a lot of the scams. That's what they were doing. They'll have a pre-launch, a pre-sale, and as soon as the coin goes live, you have a massive dump, or the coin don't even launch, so you're holding worthless tokens. So for me, if I do get invested in this, I'll wait till after it actually launch. I'm not gonna get into the pre-sale because anything can happen between then. And if you buy a coin that's not even live, you're like I said, you're just holding, just holding something that's worthless. So your money instantly goes to zero. And there was few projects back in 2017 that I invested in like that. And I did hit big on some of them, but for the ones that I lost on, it's like literally you just throwing your money away. Not saying that they're gonna do that. Let's understand me completely. I'm just telling you based upon my experience and why I'm a little standoffish on pre-sales. Yeah, 30% is a lot. 30% is a lot. Look at Ethereum. Did anybody have any issues as far as buying Surge Ethereum? And guys, I've been working on the bridge, um, and I like it. Um, and some stuff that's coming out soon is gonna be a DApp for it. Um, and what is his name? I forgot his name that quick. Something capitalist. I think Surge capitalist. Yeah, Surge capitalist mentioned that the DApp is gonna come out by next Sunday, I believe. So which is gonna be good. The DApp's gonna have the chart. Um, and after talking to Mark, gonna have some buys and sells, so that way you don't have to physically put the address. You just click a button, it automatically do it for you. So that way it'd be less step, and I think the easier you make something for people, then you could get like really newbie investors to come in. I know some people, voice their concern about like how complicated some of the stuff are. Um, I get it, especially if you're just new to crypto. You got the address, you got the wallet, you got all this and that, gas fees. Like, there's so many stuff. But once you get the hang of it, it does become easier. Um, but definitely some good stuff that's coming for the ecosystem. Um, but yeah, guys. Not gonna hold you up too long. I'm about to call it a night. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment. Like I said, I always try to respond back to every single comment. So guys, this is Random Art signing off.